It's crazy to think that we are already approaching the 1-year anniversary of Sonic Mania. Time really flies when you're playing the best Sonic game ever made. I said this in my original video, but I will be happy to say it again. Mania is a reminder to why I started loving Sonic in the first place. While it's still a shame that it is sort of a "now that's what I call Sonic" level compilation, since most of the game takes place in returning zones, everything else about the game? Basically perfect. Except for that spider boss, that thing still sucks. And that leads us to today. Mania's Encore Mode DLC has dropped, as well as Sonic Mania Plus reaching retail. Now, this was one of my favorite games of 2017, so I figured it only made sense with such a monumental new release, it made sense. Let's talk about Sonic Mania one more time. As nearly perfect as that game was, there were definitely a few things that felt a little hastily slapped together, mainly the transitions between zones. Honestly, as minor as it is, it was one of my favorite parts of Sonic 3. Sure, they only lasted a few seconds, but it was really neat having the world be sorta connected. Just showing up in Hydrocity would have been totally fine, but falling into Hydro City is even neater. Yep, I said that zone's name both ways just to get under every single one of your guys' skin. It's just what I do. Some of the zones in Mania had them, some just faded to black, and then hey, look at that, we're here now. My favorite was in Studiopolis. The final boss had a screen in the back that showed a news report of the flying battery returning. Your character then quickly reacts, and then boom, flying battery zone. That was really cool. Oh hell yeah, finally beat that stupid flying battery spider. Okay, newspaper printing facility, let's go. And now, luckily, DLC aside, a free update was unleashed that fixed this issue. Now every single zone has a zone transition. Huzzahs all around. What, this is gonna grab a glider and that's how they get into the... Okay, that seems awfully familiar. Oh, you clever fanboys, what a reference that is. This to me is a much appreciated addition. The final two zone transitions in particular are my favorite. The way these big ominous structures you can see off in the distance just turn on some colorful lights with a neat sounding. This actually kind of reminds me of the Sonic OVA of all things. Yeah, who remembers that mess? The Hydro City transition is still super weak though. Okay, a passage opens up and then you go through. Suddenly Mirage Saloon Zone. Alright, as far as this free update is concerned, the rest of the game is basically the same. The menus got redesigned, Super Sonic has some more animations now, you can remove the time limit while you play, nice touch. And then there's the fight with Metal Sonic. The fight that was there before was fine, but running away from a moving wall of spikes, that was a bit nonsensical. As for now, let's see what we got here. Oh, okay. Metal Sonic from Knuckles Chaotix. I forgot how terrifying this thing looked. They also added like this eyeball animation for when the characters are stuck in ice, and it honestly really freaked me out the first time I saw it. And that's only the free stuff that you get. A game that was already basically perfect, got a few tweaks, and was made even better. Except for that Hydro City transition. How did they mess that up? Just like throw the tornado right there, that's it. It's all they had to do. You see, I complained on the internet. I can be a game developer too. But of course, you guys already know what we're here to talk about, the new stuff. The glorious return of Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel. We're talking about Mighty and Ray in the year 2018. What a time to be alive. So the hooligan trio of Bark, Bean, and Fang already kinda made a return in Mirage Saloon Zone. I guess these were the only two characters left to bring back. I suppose they were stuck in here this whole time. That makes sense. Now, where are Bomb and Heavy? That's the real question here. The major new addition to Sonic Mania Plus is Encore Mode, a slight, very slight redesign of the original adventure, with modified color palettes and a brand new mechanic where, instead of having lives, you play with a random pairing of 2 characters that you can swap between the 2 on the fly, or switch characters around by hitting special item boxes. And some of the modified level design allows you to take advantage of Mighty and Ray's new abilities. Mighty can slam himself into the ground to break obstacles, you can knock stuff off trees, and his hard shell allows him to take a spike hit with no damage, which is really cool. Some enemies and bosses do not stand a chance anymore. As for Ray, he can fly. Yep, that's about it. Something about this is seeming awfully familiar. And you know what? Honestly, this is all these characters need. They're well designed, they show plenty of personality in their animations, and they have enough unique qualities about them that keeps them right on par with the other 3. What is Ray even doing with his thumbs here? He's like pulling off the best The Fonz impression I've ever seen. Ray! As for Encore Mode itself, I knew going in to not expect that much new. I would rather save a lot of the new stuff for a potential sequel, but if you've played the main game over a dozen times like I have, I like Sonic Mania a whole lot, then there's really like only a few times where you'll notice something different here. The most you may get out of this mode is, oh, I think that's a slightly different platform. If the new colors weren't a thing, it would probably be a bit tough to tell the difference between Mania mode and Encore mode. Admittedly though, Oil Ocean during the day is pretty nice. You get to play a little bit of Angel Island Zone at the least at the very start of it for a very brief moment, but that's still nice. Oh, come on, man. And all of this would be fine enough, but I also personally didn't really care much for the swapping character mechanic. I think it would have been more enjoyable if you could just swap between all 5 characters at any time, instead of just 2 at a time and then swapping one of them out when you hit a box. It would have been more hectic, for sure, but it would have made this mode stand out even more. I also wish that some of the levels were just a bit more different than their original level layouts. It's a different mode after all. When I pick it, I don't want to play a 90% recreation of what I've already played. And listen, before you all start telling me I should have kept my expectations in line, here's the thing. Mirage Saloon Act 1. Now maybe I haven't played enough of the Knuckles exclusive level, but this seemed almost entirely new, and it was the best part of the mode by far. It reuses all of the mechanics that we've already seen, but with a layout that, personally, I haven't experienced before. The Knuckles level was built entirely for him, so it made sense for that character. Now that we can play as any character, it has to be a little bit more streamlined, and it felt that way. It was really fun. Basically, what I'm saying is, the wait for Sonic Mania 2 continues to be hell. Oh no, we got a glitch. At least we got a whole new round of special stages. That's really cool. I really wanted more of them, and then we got more of them. Perfect. The bonus stages also got totally revamped. While we got Blue Spheres before, which is fine, was never really the hugest Blue Spheres fan, now we get Pinball. That's awesome. It's a one-stop shop for some shields and extra characters if you don't have them, and it looks just as garbage as the special stages do, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Ultimately, you guys, Encore Mode was just okay. I have no reason to play this mode over the mode that I'm already used to. There's just not enough new stuff there. What's awesome though, is that you can play as Mighty and Ray in Mania mode. That is exactly what I want. And actually thinking about it, Knuckles got some unique stuff in his story. Oh, Mighty and Ray are bound to have something cool. What? Flying in on the tornado? Really? You go as far as to ensure that their running animation is a side-scrolling replica of that same running animation from that weird arcade game, but we're gonna just keep Knuckles as the only character with unique stuff, as opposed to Mighty and Ray, who we haven't seen in God knows how long they've been stuck in that box? That's pretty odd, honestly. Once you get past that though, this is where the DLC shines in my opinion. Since I didn't really like the character swapping mechanic of Encore Mode, now I get to enjoy Mighty and Ray solo on their own adventure, and that's all I need. I didn't expect to enjoy Ray as much as I did. He breaks this game on so many levels. He just flies through everything, and if you time it just right, you can make a lot of enemy hits that you didn't think you could make. It's awesome. At the end of the day here, the DLC is only $5, so there are worse ways you can spend your money. The new characters are great, but Encore Mode, in my opinion, is kind of unnecessary. But that doesn't really matter, does it? It's $5, just play some more Sonic Mania. At least go ahead and get the physical copy for that nifty little art book. The stuff that the art team did for this game was amazing, and it deserves to be sort of immortalized in a book here. We need a bigger art book if you want my opinion. Or what about this reversible cover art? This is beautiful. Whew, my apologies, my inner Sonic fanboy started coming out again. That should never happen ever again. I just wanted to express some of my thoughts on the Sonic Mania Plus DLC. And really, it's just a bunch of minor stuff. It just kind of annoys me though that for a game that is so focused on fan service, stuff like only one zone now having a bad zone transition, and Knuckles being the only character to have anything unique, and only one new level in the entirety of a brand new mode. That stuff just sticks out more and more when everything else is, again, basically perfect. This is going to be something that PC gamers are probably going to mod in Sonic Mania in the near future. I feel like that makes the most sense. Wait a minute, that's actually a good point. Since Sonic Mania is available on PC, people can start modding it and doing their own crazy stuff with it. Huh. Very interesting.